What's going on, world? This is the Rhymes Like Dan podcast coming to you with your boys Peter,
Yo,
Mohammed,
You.
and myself, Yemi. We're here today to review Bawo's new EP, Legitimate Cause. But before we get to that, make sure you're subscribed to the Rhymes Like Dan's podcast on YouTube. Hit that bell so you're notified whenever we drop album reviews, whenever we drop new episodes, whenever we drop new segments. And yeah, hit the like, subscribe. Really helps us grow as a channel. And yeah, we'd very much appreciate any activity, really. So now that the housekeeping's out the way, let's get straight to the review. We're going to review UK artist, London artist, Bawo. He's got a new EP out called Legitimate Cause. It follows his last EP, I think was released, was it 2020 or 2021? I think it was called Live and Let Live.
Live and Let Thrive.
Live and Let Thrive. And yeah, he's basically a London rapper who's been making a fair bit of noise in the quote-unquote underground, releasing a bunch of really good singles from Give Me a Sec to Brasiliero to stuff like Easel and a bunch of other tracks. And he's now returned with a new offering for 2023. It is a 7-tracker. It features the likes of friend to the pod, Oscar World Peace, Ayeisha Raquel, Rico, and it also features production by Bawo himself, Oscar World Peace, El Londo, Kamel, Mink, Rohan Win Frank, and Ankit Suri as well. Yeah, it's a short affair. It is 24 minutes and 21 seconds. And yeah, man, I mean, we're going to get into the review. I know Peter's a big fan of Bawo. So we'll start with you, P. How did you find Bawo's Legitimate Cause?
I actually wanted to start with Mo.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I wanted to start with Mo.
Okay, cool. I mean, we could do that.
By all means.
Cool.
The reason why I wanted to start with Mo, because I'm not sure if Mo has listened to Bawo before.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so I'm curious.
This was my first ever intake into Bawo as an artist. Like, I've never heard him before. A few things. I didn't know Oscar World Peace could produce as good as he did on the album. No disrespect.
EP.
But yeah, sorry, on the EP. The production he done was amazing, and his verse was phenomenal. I enjoyed it. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was short and sweet. It was very concise. I like the different elements he took in it. Like, it wasn't just the same type of production. Some was 808, some was the piano. I think the first one was it? I've got the notes here. I think it was like...
Wait, yeah.
Ooh.
Listen, man, I
Theoretical Mo in the joint.
I can only do what I can
And
do.
he's got notes.
I can only do what I can do. I can only do what I can
Yes,
do.
I hear it.
Man, treat me like a hood rat. The piano acoustic on the first song was wavy to me.
Ooh.
Hey, no, listen, I'm in my
Piano
bag.
acoustic.
It's funny.
Come on.
Someone tried, no, because you tried to set me up.
The
I don't even try
acoustic
to do
piano.
this. Someone tried to set me up. But it's
Why
okay.
try to set you
Don't
up?
even look at me.
Why?
Now, back to my bag.
I didn't try to set
I'm
you up,
joking.
man.
Grace's Calling was probably my favourite song. Oscar floated on that. Aisha's, is it Aisha?
Yeah.
Aisha, yeah.
Aisha's vocals was absolutely amazing on that. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. It was short and sweet for me, so there wasn't too much for me to really unpack. Like, it's not going to take 10 minutes for me to really decipher how I feel.
The reason why I asked you, because I thought you didn't like it.
No, I think that's what I was going to tell you. That I was
Okay.
like, I've got to sit on it because I wasn't sure if it was going to review or not, because obviously you guys know how it was with if it was going to review or not. It was kind of last minute type thing, even though originally we planned to. So I've only listened to it twice. I haven't sat on it too deep.
Yeah.
But it's done enough for me to want to go back and check out his other songs. And I just like the different ranges he had.
Did you listen to his previous EP?
Nah, this was literally, I went
First
into
introduction,
this blind. Like, I went into this and just thought, all right, cool, let me sit down and see what we're saying. I don't know why. I don't know if you guys ever had an expectation when you just look at an artist.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
You imagine what you think they might sound
so
like.
when I saw him, I was just like, all right, cool, let's just see what we're getting into. And then after the first song, I was like, hopefully the same way we're going. Just because I was like, I don't want to hear so much.
So the acoustic piano.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to. Nah, man. I was like, I don't want to hear Stormzy Part 2. I was like, I'm good. I just want to hear. And then there were certain songs where
If I speak.
the rapping was rapping. Honestly, everything about. Nah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. It was a good listen. Salute to Bawo. Oscar floated. Aisha was, to me, the standout vocalist on her song she was on. That's my favorite song on the album. Like, that was.
Mine too.
Oh, for real.
Yeah,
that
mine
was
too.
played out amazingly to me. Everyone done their job. Everyone done their role.
Yeah.
And I didn't get bored. And that was the main thing with this. I think it's a risk when... Because a lot of the albums are about relationships. And I feel like it's a risk when you talk about a relationship on an EP, just because you can get bored kind of quickly where you're like, I don't want to hear about this song. Especially someone like me. I don't really like hearing about relationships on every other song. I'd rather just hear some drill shit.
Yeah.
But that being said, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. Salute to Bawo.
Yeah.
He's got a fan in me, man. Honestly, like... I don't want to overindulge, but yeah, I fucked with it, man.
I think for me, I like Bawo, man. I like Bawo.
plain and
I think the first time I came across him was Peckham Audio.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Alt School Presents.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the first time I'd ever listened to his music and that. And I thought he had dope stage presence. I like the way he rapped as well. And then I listened to Live and Let Thrive, and I thoroughly enjoyed that as well. I love how he sounds on the microphone, man. I think I like his voice. I think that's probably what pulls me in the most, just the tonation of it. And like, I enjoy his flows. He has I don't know what it is, man. His flow's just very it's effective, but quite simple at the same time. And I think from that EP, like I really liked his he's really good at picking beats. He's really good at picking beats, man. He loves a dance tune. That's what I took from the first EP. Well, that was my first EP that I listened to him. So that was what I took from that the most. And then going into this project, yeah, it was an enjoyable listen, man. I like the way he is kind of able to mesh these different sounds and get into like different pockets and bags, but still, I'm about to use our favourite word, allow it to be cohesive. Do you know what I mean? Because I think when it got to phase one, the first song, it was very minimal, piano keys, and he was barring, and I thought that was a fantastic introduction in that. But then I was a bit concerned that the rest of the EP would be the same sort of tone.
That's why I had a worry as well.
And I didn't want that. I didn't want, because he's got naturally a mellow voice anyway. I don't like him on too much of a mellow sounding song. So that was a bit my concern. And then, went into the second song. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, what I mean? The tempo's been picked up a bit. And I really enjoyed that song, Same Team. That was dope. First time I'd come across Rico. He sounded really good on that. I think Bawo sounded very, very good on that as well. And then, so on and so forth. I just was listening to each song as they were coming up and I was just enjoying them. I was like, okay, yeah, this is a really enjoyable listen. I think my favourite song on it is probably, I think Grace is Calling. That was dope. That was really, really dope, man. The way Oscar floated, first and foremost. He absolutely floated on that, man. But I loved Raquel singing though, man. I loved her singing on that. And I think Bawo usually sings on most of his songs. So it was kind of nice for him to, allow someone else to kind of deal with like the vocals on that. And I think particularly on that song, what stood out for me was they did like this double harmony thing that sounded absolutely amazing, man, where she was singing and he was singing at the same time when they were doing the hook. And that just sounded fire to me, man. Yeah, and then you've got Turn and Face, which was, an upbeat tune that I really enjoyed as well. I thought that was really cool. Not Just Yet, probably my second favourite song on it as well. I really enjoyed the video for that too. Figured Out, nice vibe. I found the hook to be a bit redundant, so I could probably do without that song. But it still fit, so I get why he put it on there. Obviously, Grace is Calling, and then Stay Close, which I thought was really dope. It kind of felt very garagey, upbeat, dancey as well. And yeah, I just thought the overall thing was like really enjoyable, man. So yeah,
I hear that. Yeah, I mean, strong project. I think as our favorite word, it is cohesive, and the reason why I think it's cohesive is because even though you have disparate music, as far as obviously Stay Close has got the two-step vibe. I think the third tune. What's the name of the third tune? It is
Turn and Face.
It's kind of got the more of the up-tempo, kind of more Jersey club type vibe. I think Bawo's vocals very much wrap all of it together to make it as cohesive as it is. It's kind of like the great equalizer in that respect. And like you say, like he's got very, very collected flows. It almost feels like conversational. Like even figured out, like he's talking about a love interest, but he's talking about it in a way that seems true to him. It's not like he's professing love, or it's not like he's, begging for his babes back. Wink, wink. He's kind of just doing it in a way that's like very like natural, very conversational, almost as if like we're a fly on the wall when he's having a chat with a girl in a cafe or whatever. Like it's that type of thing. So I feel like it was very like natural for him to kind of rap in that way and kind of approach songs in that way, because I feel like that's what he does anyway. He's kind of got a very like clever way with the way he bars, and I very much appreciate kind of refreshing whether he raps and the sounds that he raps on as well. Yeah, man, I think conversationally and as far as like topically, I feel like there's a bit of an aspirational vibe. Like he wants to be like seen as like, you know, the best and all that as well. But it also seems as if like generally he's quite grounded in who he is, and it feels like, you know, he's very much accepting that, you know, he is who he is, and he's very much displaying that on record.
I think that shone through the most on Grace's Calling for me.
Yeah, for sure. I think not just yet as well. And Phase One, I thought was a great opener. Like the project is bookended by like two great songs, Phase One and Stay Close. Phase One, I thought was very like, it was a left turn for him, but I really liked it. As far as like that, like.
Why do you think it was a left turn?
Because I mean, he doesn't really do piano ballads. And if there's if there is a piano in a beat, there's something a little bit more. There's a bit more music around it. So I feel like that was a bit of a left turn in the regard of like his bars doing more of the talking than any kind of like production.
But his song that he did with Lewis Culture, it was led by piano.
Yeah, but
and even though it had the drums, I don't know, it felt kind of familiar.
Not to me.
No?
I feel like that was a lot more danceable and a lot more bouncy. Whereas this one is very much like, if Dave did this song, it would be very much like, that would be what it is. And Stormzy as well. So I think it was more in that. It's kind of more traditional than I dare say than 7 a.m. with Lewis. But all the while, loved it. Like, same team, really, really good. I really liked it. Video's dope. Turn and Face, didn't like it at first. It grew on me. Not just yet. That's my bag as well, as far as like the production and you know, that kind of introspection he's on. Figured out, same thing with Turn and Face. I didn't like it at first, but listened to it. I've listened to it 4 times, and after the 4th listen, I was like, okay, yeah, it's clicked now.
Yeah.
There were things that I was noticing. There was the line about if I don't figure out basically to the effect of, if I don't figure out your pengers, you then have the permission to show your pengerness out there to other man, sort of thing. And I like the way he approached that. I like the way he broke that down. Grace is Calling. Yeah, I liked it. Oscar, obviously. Listen, man, Oscar's on he's on smoke right now. He's been very, very consistent over the last year, and you know, it's great to see. And obviously, he's spreading his wings as a producer as well, which I think is really, really dope.
Yeah. They have really good chemistry together, though, man.
Yeah, for sure.
They have really good chemistry together.
For sure. He keeps a good artist around him. That Oscar and Bawo as well. To be fair, and Ayeisha, she did her thing as well. I'll definitely be checking out more of her music.
Same.
And Stay Close. Yeah, man. 2-step banger. Really liked it. All very mellow. Like musically, it's all very mellow, but you know, it hits high points at certain times, and yeah, man, I really enjoyed it. Like, I think Bawo is like definitely one for the future. I think if he carries on this trajectory, he's gonna be like, hopefully, he's gonna eclipse like the so-called underground and the kind of alt scene, which, you know, some people would probably want to put him in right now and become something like a little bit more substantial, I suppose. But yeah, for me, solid EP, very replayable. I'll go back to this every so often. And yeah, man, shout out to Bawo, man.
Yeah, big up Bawo,
Salute to Bawo.
For sure, man, for sure.
I'll check it out again. I need to go back to it. I've gone back to it like twice. So I do. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, I have no qualms against it, I'll be honest with you. I was kind of worried about after the first song, even though I enjoyed the first song, I was just praying it's not all like this.
If it was all like this, I mean, if I had maybe one or two more songs like this, I wouldn't have minded.
Yeah, no, 1 or 2 I don't mind. I just didn't want, because you know when I don't know him at all, innit? So when I first heard it, don't get me wrong, I love that song. It's just when I first heard it, I was like, is this the route that we're going to take throughout the whole thing? Just because you guys know him as an artist, whereas with me,
this is what I mean, part 2.
It is, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I can't lie. You know, when you're just pleasantly surprised, that's what this album was, this EP was to me. It generally was just a pleasant surprise. I'm like, oh shit, nah, he's not whack at all.
And this is why you need to pay more attention to artists
I don't need to do that.
in that space.
I don't need to do that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, you do.
You definitely do.
Knox,
You should
Bawo,
listen to the previous EP, though.
Lewis. There's Bear Man. Apex. There's Bear Man. Favorite tracks, guys?
Let me pull it up now. My favorite song is Grace is Calling. That's generally my favorite song. And I would say Stay Close.
I've got Phase 1, Same Team, and Stay Close.
I've got
Grace is Calling is phenomenal.
Stay Close, Grace is Calling, Not Just Yet.
Grace is Calling was phenomenal to me.
Yeah,
The vocals on that song, bro. I don't know who she was. I'll be honest with you, this is the first time I heard her.
She
name
did
too.
this run with her
Bruv,
voice that was
talk
wild,
about it.
man.
Did you know her before the song?
Nah.
I didn't know.
first
Yeah,
time.
this is the first time I ever
Yeah.
heard her, and I was like, yeah, this is phenomenal. I can't lie.
Even when she did the run, I was like, I followed it with my finger.
yeah,
Like,
You know when your hands just go higher, innit?
Yeah,
Your hands just go,
I was like, yo,
hey.
you're
Yeah,
fire,
I can't lie.
man.
Salute to her, man.
I was
Salute to her.
like,
Salute to her.
fire.
She's fire.
Well, Bawo and Ayeisha Raquel. You've got fans in all of us.
Yeah, man. Salute to Oscar as well.
For sure. Always.
Always.
Well, that will do it for this review. Bawo's Legitimate Calls. 3 strong yeses from us. So thank you very much for listening and watching. If you've listened to Bawo's new EP, make sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below with your thoughts. If you agree with us, if you don't, very much appreciate it. That'll be it for another review. We'll be here soon. But until next time, just take care, stay safe, and peace.
Bang, bang, bang.